Hey everybody. Okay, today we are going to talk about lacquers. Okay, lacquer is just a fancy way to talk about polish, and you already know all about polish. Polish is easy. You know what you're doing. But I'm going to talk about a couple of things that are going to help you do polish better and make it come out a little bit better than how you've been doing it before. Okay. So what I have here are two base coats. So two different choices in base coats. I have my color and I have a top coat. Okay, but I'm actually going to teach you a little trick on that. Okay, so my nails are already prepped, which means that I've pushed back my cuticles. I have washed with an oil-free soap. I used Dawn dishwashing liquid. It works super great. And I have cleaned out underneath my nails, and so they are ready to go. I have little bitty shorty nails, but that is okay. Whatever kind of nails you have is fine. Okay, so I have two different choices of base coats. I have a strengthening base coat, and I have a smoothing base coat. And today I'm actually going to use the smoothing base coat. So one of the biggest tricks is to paint narrower than your nail. Do not try to get all the way to the very, very, very edge of your nail. Don't worry about that because nobody is going to see all the way to the very edge except you. But what will happen if you try to get to the very edge is that you're going to have some liquid pooling right there and it won't dry. And it's going to be clumpy and messy. This is also going to carry over into the gel painting technique. So this is a very important trick. And it has come in super, super handy for me when I'm doing my painting. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to paint narrower than my nail. I'm just going to try to stick to the middle and try to use also thin coat so it doesn't get real gloopy. That's a word, right? Gloopy. So with the base coat, I'm just going to do one thin coat on each nail. This smoothing base coat dries pretty quick too. Actually, the strengthening base coat also dries quick, so that's kind of nice. And I'm trying not to get right up on the edge because that's going to be a mess if I do that. So I'm going right towards the edge, but not on the edge. And I'm going to do this hand with no base coat to show you the difference. Okay, so that you can see a difference. What happens when you do a base coat and what happens when you don't do a base coat, and see if you can tell a difference. Okay, so you can see it's like a little bit white because this was a whitening base coat. But more than that, it is going to smooth out the ridges, and it's going to give the lacquer something to hang on to. Okay, so I have chosen Cardinal, which is just a really, really good perfect red. Everybody needs a really good perfect red in their collection. I am actually going to be going somewhere and wearing a bright red shirt tomorrow. So this is perfect. Lacquer doesn't last very long on me. It lasts about a day because I've got really, really bendy nails. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, it's so bright. Anyway, I've got really, really bendy nails. The wraps will last a really long time because the wraps bend with my nails, but the lacquer tends to chip off. It's not the lacquer's fault, it's my nail's fault. But I know that I can pretty much only go about a day or two with the lacquer, but it's still fun. to wear for just a day. It lasts a really long time on my toes. So I still have lacquer in my collection. But I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the lacquer, just one thin coat, and I'm staying narrow, not touching the edge. There's a cow in my house.
Did you hear that cow?
Hey, baby. My husband is a comedian.
Huh? A comedian?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Hi, baby.
hey.
Uh-oh.
I don't think you got any batteries.
No batteries. Okay, this is the Perfectionist Correcting Pen. And you can use this to clean up any mistakes. So I went over the edge a little bit when that cow walked in right there. And so you can use this to clean up the edge right here. And you just use it, it's kind of like a marker, and you use it to just clean up the edge. And it's all good. Now I forgot about the batteries. Okay, so I'm going to keep on trucking. Do y'all hear the beeping? We have a smoke alarm that needs a new battery. There it goes. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, but one nice coat. And Cardinal does a really good job with one coat. I will do two, but it does good with just one. And I'm wondering if it's going to show a difference with the base coat versus no base coat. Okay, now I'm going to do this hand with the no base coat, just straight on no base coat. Oh, painting with my left hand is much more difficult. But the Perfectionist pen comes in so handy for that. Okay. Perfectionist pen again. Clean up the mess. Okay, and I'm going to show you this too. The Perfectionist pen, you can pull the tip out and switch sides there. That side's actually dirty too. But there's some replacement tips in the back. Okay. I'm gonna go one more coat. Staying narrow. If you stay narrow, then you don't need the correctionist pen as much. Little hint for you there. Man, this is a gorgeous red. So pretty.
Has anybody commented on that chirping noise?
No, this is actually a pre-recorded video. So no one is live. But I did mention it. So I have commented on it, I guess.
Neither one of us can remember to get any batteries.
Okay, so I can tell a difference. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but a difference in the one with the smoothing base coat and the one without. I don't know if y'all can see that, but this one is actually smoother than this one. There is some bumpiness on this hand. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna show you a little trick. All right, now this is the Ultra Shine top coat, but typically I actually use the strengthening base coat as a top coat. And the reason I do that is because it works very well to protect against chips. So, if you're only going to get one clear, may I recommend strengthening base coat as your clear? Because you can use it as a base coat and as a top coat. So, and it actually does have quite a lot of shine on top as well. So I'm going to go over all 10 nails. With strengthening base coat. And I've got some mega shine happening right here. I do see a difference in my left hand and my right hand because I skipped the smoothing base coat step. One of the nails is not as opaque, maybe because of that white layer. So that's another area where that smoothing base coat helped also. Okay. So now the hard part being still and letting them dry, but one of the features of using a base coat and a top coat is basically like when you are painting a room, you put a primer on before you put your paint, and then you put a sealer on like when you put a stain. It's similar to that. Also, another tip that I have heard that really hits home is if your nails are prone to chipping like mine are, and that's just because I have really bendy nails, keep your top coat with you. And like, let's say when you first get in your car in the morning and you've already started the engine, my nails are wet, that's why I'm doing it like this. When you first start the engine, put on your layer of top coat, drive to work and let it dry, and then you're adding one layer of protection for the day. And then that's really another way to kind of extend your manicure. If you really like lacquer manicures. Obviously, if you are using wraps and you like wraps, you're not going to have that kind of an issue because wraps last. You know how long wraps last. But if you are if you want to try out all of the millions of colors that we have in lacquer, that is definitely an option for you. So that is kind of my summary on lacquers and the application of lacquers and a few tips and tricks, hopefully, that will help you out. We also have a quick dry spray here, I'll show you how that works real quick. Don't go anywhere. Let me get my spray. There it is. Try to get it without messing up what I've already done here. Okay, the quick dry spray comes in a little bottle like this. And you just basically mist your nails. So I kind of do a little claw shape like this. And you mist your nails. And that is that. You're just going to kind of let it dry. And it looks really oily and shiny at first, but that's going to go away. And then it helps the nails to dry faster. So that is how that part works. And it actually smells pretty good. And so that's just one more thing to help it dry faster. We actually even have a quick dry top coat that you can use as well. So that is that. That I think is all of the pieces of applying. And then I'll do another video on removal. Okay, thank you guys. That is lacquer.